as much as there's a knife at the right side of your head, with the driver, there's still one at the left side of your head too. You don't want to get ahead of those arms. It's a long club. The stance is wider, more of a U-shaped bottom of the swing because the wider stance, the ball's forward ahead of the top of the pendulum. Big fence on the left side, real tall. And he'd literally get my butt almost up against this fence. And there was a target we had that was down that line, and then a window that I created for myself 10 yards right of the fence line. You want to have the back of the club laying on the ground. So when you take your grip, have the back of the club laying on the ground. To a lot of people that looks open. I'm so used to seeing it, it looks square to me. But more of this right here is square than having it up on edge, okay? So, oh, on cue. I love when that happens like that. The one big thing that I remind a player who's looking to get that shoulder through, finish more this way, not finish this way, is when you get the driver out, yeah, you're setting up in a way that allows you still to move through it, but you still need to stay very centered. You know, that ball's up on the tee, and I don't want our players to misinterpret the feeling with an iron and covering the golf ball and then getting in with a driver and then charging it, thinking that they laterally need to move into it because they need to cover it and get into it. Remember, as much as there's a knife at the right side of your head, with the driver, there's still one at the left side of your head too. You don't want to get ahead of those arms. It's a long club. Plus, you're not hitting up, as I told you, with the golf swing. You're hitting up with the setup. The ball position's already forward.
Yep.
The stance is wider, more of a U-shaped bottom of the swing because the wider stance, the ball's forward ahead of the top of the pendulum. It's going to hit up without you trying to. But the one way that doesn't happen naturally is the top of the pendulum gets on top. Exactly. So staying centered with the driver, letting the shoulders work around the fixed point. Much better thought there. If I want to hit it harder, I'm letting it build up more. There's zero pickup here. You know, nobody's ever hit the golf ball with their backswing, right? So I don't need any pace of this backswing. All right, this is me just kind of being a little bit more patient on the way back and then firing on the way through.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, I was really able to get after that. I feel like I finished so much more balanced too as a result of that. You know, it's just everything's together and in sequence together on the way through. A driver. It's the longest, it's the farthest away the outside horse is from the inside horse.
Yep.
You know, if there's ever a time to just let it build more, and you know what's funny? It also defeats that tendency that everybody has when they grab it to want to just, you know, from the minute they take it back, it just gets faster. That's one of those thoughts that you really have to put into place. Come on, buddy, everything in place here, okay? I want to see grip, setup, club face. There we go, bud. Oh yeah, best one of the day right there.
Yeah.
Now this was a big one. This was a big one for Paul. Kevin, zoom in on the face here. Okay, remember this? A square driver. We talked about the press and with the irons. Now people don't really press the driver because it's already off their lead side so much, right? But guys, not having the driver up on edge, you want to have the back of the club laying on the ground. So when you take your grip, have the back of the club laying on the ground. To a lot of people that looks open. I'm so used to seeing it, it looks square to me. But more of this right here is square than having it up on edge, okay? So I want you to kind of leave it there, take your grip from there without altering it. See how it feels open to you.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes?
Yep.
It does.
Let's go, buddy. There's nothing worse than rotating better
Well, yes.
and getting around your right side and then seeing it go over there. It's like, that's, because you know what the rest of the round you're gonna do? Hang back and hold on.
Straighten that up.
Exactly. I want players to always be rotating. ABR, way better right there with the club face. And there you go, no right. That would have worked on the 18th hole the other day.
Yes.
It's devastating to a score when right for you, left for me becomes an over miss, when the ball continues to go that way. It's an impossible shot to talk to. So my players, we gear all their swings in a place to where they live in a window. For practicing, you know, hitting at the white flag, I want all of my shots falling on that flag or just in between the green flag right of it. You know, and that's something that people should work on when they're practicing, is find a window for yourself. You know, my dad, we had a cool range in San Diego. San Diegans will know, the Stadium Golf it was down by the old Qualcomm Stadium. And Dad and I'd hit golf balls. He'd get me to where there was one big fence on the left side, real tall, and he'd literally get my butt almost up against this fence. And he'd have me aim right down the fence line. And he'd say, all right, buddy, not one ball touches the fence today, but you commit on every single one. And there was a target we had that was down that line, and then a window that I created for myself 10 yards right of the fence line. And I just hit everything down that line. What was crazy was I got to the golf course, and I used to feel like when I'd set up on a tee box, like I had a wall on my butt all the way down the fairway. And I could just rotate right into it, and nothing would ever cross it.
You're
It's
in
a
your
cool
window,
feeling.
yeah.
Look how he's gonna lay the club face. Back of the club face is gonna touch the ground. There it is right there. He takes his grip like that. That's square. Now he can commit to everything we've worked on today. Oh, dude. See, this is, I wish our viewer could see that perfectly, because what is that? That's the perfect 1 yard draw. Full commitment,
Yes.
no fear of going any more than that. That was beautiful right there. Club face first, grip second, and then I want to see really patient, and then let it go. Oh, on cue. I love when that happens like that. Just so good. Paul, I know you showed up telling me that I felt like family, but after you've left today, you feel like my family, my man. I appreciate you. Hey.
This is so good.
So good.
Thank
so, hey,
you.
thanks to this guy, Kevin.
Wonderful.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Kev.
Oh, by the way, I have something for you and Jenny. Okay. You got to think Imperial hats always do a great job for us. And I got the script one, I got the print one, and then I have a Porzak Golf Winston Collection towel.
Excellent.
It's for you, buddy.
Thank you very
Of
much.
course, man.
At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.